To be humble is to trust in us, that we can be just, a must if we are to be uncallous, the biggest challenge for man who sometimes operates without a plan, hurting his fellow man. Humility is no exception. It serves as an opportunity for reflection, a connection, to make a correction in the direction of our obsession with ourselves, a violation of Torah's vocalization, a cancellation, perhaps, of the cultivation, consolidation, bifurcation, alienation, demoralization, humiliation between us and them. When will we find the ability to harness humility, make a guarantee that our world can be a bounty of beauty, boundless in possibility? Who are we? A people that is reading? Or are we pleading, needing, retreating, speeding away from those who are fleeting? In Torah, there is a layering of meaning worth gleaning while we are cleaving and clinging to the thing that will make our hearts sing. So what gift does Torah bring? Humility. Far-fetched, I know, but needed to grow, to show we have the staccato to make our tomorrow tolerable. This week in our Torah portion, we are presented with a notion of great proportion. We are reading about the offerings, the sacrifices, the olah, an aria, an opera, providing a comma. As we learn to sacrifice, roll the dice, think twice, as we make a concise offering to God. As I read this week, I was completely astounded, confounded at the amount of newfound learning, the discerning and yearning which comes with the burning of the korbanot. Why, you might ask, are we tasked with an obligation to make a separation between the offerings of peace and guilt and offerings of sin? Torah sacrifices opportunity to win, therein displaying the discipline to lean in, to be humble, not mumble and fumble our words, rather be really heard when we utter the words, forgive me, a plea made on one knee, the key to teshuvah. Because to be humble is to trust in us that we can be just, a must, if we are to be uncallous, the greatest challenge for man who sometimes operates without a plan, hurting his fellow man. Humility is no exception. It serves as an opportunity for reflection, a connection, a chance to make a correction in the direction of our obsession with ourselves, a violation of our obsession, a violation of Torah's vocalization, a cancellation perhaps, of the cultivation, the consolidation, the bifurcation, the alienation, the demoralization, the humiliation between us and them. When will we find the ability to harness humility and make a guarantee that our world can be the bounty of beauty without impossibility? I like to think of these sacrifices that we read about. I like to think of these sacrifices the way I think about music. It becomes my muse, the type I choose, offering clues, cues. The music can serve to define, unclutter my mind, design a path toward the divine. Sometimes we feel like we're on a climb to find a sign that everything will be fine. Other times, however, we're filled with joy, with glee. We see, we are happy, everything's hunky-dory. But there are also times that we struggle. We muddle through, pretending things are worthwhile, positing a fake smile, all the while it feels like we're trudging through bile. However, the sacrifices serve as devices to correct a misstep, something we regret, try to forget, whether we have upset another, our brother perhaps. If we are unclear about the transgression, Allah is a confession that we desire correction without exception. We hurt each other, we lie, we cheat, we betray God, we defraud. Each of these is addressed, which shows that in all cases, humility is key as we plead to be guilt-free, because to be humble is to trust in us, that we can be just, a must, if we are to be uncalloused. The biggest challenge for man who sometimes operates without a plan, hurting his fellow man. And humility is no exception. It serves as an opportunity for reflection, a connection, a chance to make a correction in the direction of our obsession with ourselves, a violation of Torah's vocalization, a cancellation perhaps of the cultivation, consolidation, bifurcation, alienation, demoralization, humiliation between us and them. When will we find the ability to harness guarantee that our world can be a bounty of beauty, boundless in possibility. When we ask for forgiveness, we witness one who is not afraid to be humble in the face of a mistake we undertake for the sake to remake a connection between two souls, once foes, returning to the folds, because as Jews, we uphold, not withhold. When we make a sacrifice as Torah commands, it expands the ability of hands to reach out. It understands the demands life can impose, making the pros of an apology encompassed with humility, basically a courtesy, directly connected to restoring harmony. Not all sin is overt, but all sin does hurt. And in our community, when we heartlessly, methodically refuse to see what is unjust, how can we trust in ourselves to be honest in the face of teshuvah, the return for which we earn, when we yearn to respect those we have hurt? There are times when the sin is not ours. Nonetheless, they do leave scars. Yet, we are complacent, unwilling to dissent, repent on another's behalf. If we do the math, we can choreograph a path, earn an epitaph, a paragraph attesting to the fact that we do not lack the humility necessary to be revolutionary. Because to be humble is to trust in us that we can be just, a must if we are to be uncalloused. The biggest challenge for a man who sometimes operates without a plan and hurts his fellow man. And humility is no exception. It serves as an opportunity for reflection and connection, a chance to make a correction in the direction of our obsession with ourselves, a violation of Torah's vocalization, a cancellation, perhaps, of the cultivation, consolidation, bifurcation, alienation, demoralization, humiliation between us, and then when will we find the ability to harness humility to make a guarantee that our world can be a bounty of beauty, boundless in possibility? Today, we don't make animal sacrifices. In a way, we're left to our own devices to figure out how to live, to give, redeem the captive. That is the objective. The sins of the 21st century are numerous and plenty. To put it bluntly, as sinners, we excel. We ride on an endless carousel, unwell, standing by, unable to compel ourselves into action. It's not my faction, I've heard people say. So they go after them. We pre-condemn, fail to recognize the mayhem, wash our hands of sin, thinking not of our kin, the brothers and sisters, the husbands and wives. Who are we to assign value to their lives? Our tradition reminds us that we were once the stranger. We faced the danger, living with an impending threat, lest we forget. Torah says, remember the widow, the orphan, the stranger, save those from impending danger. Be an arranger and exchanger of safe harbor to those endangered by circumstance, those with no chance, who find themselves by happenstance in a vulnerable position. Make it your mission. Ease the tension, the infliction, change their position. The events of this week are bleak. It seems as if we've reached a new peak for transgression. What is our obsession? How do we not raise an objection, demand a confession, literally, as children are being poisoned, our hands are being destroyed, our morals devoid? Can we avoid the horrors deployed, the children destroyed by an inhumane humanoid? This is a call to action. As a faction, we will care for God's children to God's satisfaction, sheltering others from hate as we educate, gravitate, moderate, cultivate, alleviate, not separate. As others are being wronged, being told they don't belong, turmoil being prolonged, we can stand up and tell oppressors to cease. Not one person should we fleece, because we are all God's masterpiece, set upon the mantelpiece we know as earth. Let's call for a rebirth, to increase our self-worth, be humble enough to confess that we continue to transgress, repress success, interfere with progress, which is the very quest of the divine. Because to be humble is to trust in us, that we can be uncalloused. The biggest challenge for man, who sometimes operates without a plan, hurting his fellow man. And humility is not an exception. It serves as an opportunity for reflection, a connection, a chance to make a correction in the direction of our obsession with ourselves, a violation of Torah's vocalization, a cancellation perhaps of the cultivation, consolidation, bifurcation, alienation, demoralization, humiliation between us and them? When will we find the ability to harness humility, make a guarantee that our world can be a bounty of beauty